All right, what's going on, everybody? Can you hear me? Let's see. Morning there, Seeker. Morning there, Ivan. Yeah, I like the saxophone. It's a nice little jam there. Once I know you guys can hear me, we'll get going here. I meant to do this the last couple of times. What kind of coffee you guys drink? Or anything? Energy drink? What are you guys drinking this morning? I've been messing with some new stuff. It's called King Premium Organic Gourmet with some mushrooms in there. Reishi Ganoderma lucidum spores. I don't know. It's really good. Oh, you got that Alani? Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm off the energy drinks. I had a bit of a relapse recently from when I did that Celsius trade, and I said I'll drink this poison if I hit this trade. Yeah. Red or coconut Red Bull. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. That Red Bull taste is classic. But anyways, yeah. So for today, of course, we have a shortened day. So the markets are closed at 1. So right off the bat, automatically, I have very, very low expectations for today. Obviously, tomorrow's closed for the 4th of July. So expectations very, very low. Ironically, 2 o'clock today, we have FOMC minutes. There is data pre-market as well. Let me pull that up just so I can be really specific with what it is. Let me pull it up right here. Where is it? I got it. But yeah, we'll get into it. So if you want to drop some names in the sidebar, feel free to do so. It'll be a little more brief today in terms of the overall market. So we had 8:15. We also have 10 a.m. Services PMI. And then, like I said before, FOMC minutes. Market closes at 1. So it is what it is. Can absolutely do that there, King. Can do that there, Ben. Yep, for sure. Cool. Yeah, so let's load up some names. I'll run through NASDAQ and SPY real quick. There's one setup that I liked that I actually took yesterday. And obviously we can victory lap on Tesla. So if you haven't seen my post from yesterday, I made a post about Tesla where it was a live call from 12 days ago where, I gave my analysis thesis, how I mapped that whole, idea out. And, the idea there is not to, pat myself on the back. I really could not care less. What's important in that situation there is that everybody can learn how to map out a thesis on a higher time frame using these price reading principles and doing it efficiently and effectively. It's not a one size fits all thing, and I think a lot of people need to get out of that. I need to look towards somebody else to try and give me like that justification, right? At first, of course, you're going to need to feel like you're on the right track at least, but the ultimate goal should really be you really should be, looking to learn how to do it for yourself, because at that point, that's when I think you're really going to start to get the best results and to take that next step forward. When I was always looking for other people's opinions or justifications, I just felt like I was not in control of my own trading, and that was a big problem for me. So I really needed to figure out how to do it for myself. Yes, the Mando model for sure. Yeah, we can talk about that as well. I'm giving everybody some time. I know we talked about it last week on how at one of these mornings we can go through. But as we go through some of these names, you'll see, like with Palantir, I'll show you at the minimum 3 Mando models that have completed already. So, yeah. My small reds this week were because I didn't trust myself and got influenced. Yeah, and that you never, you're going to get to a point there, Cajun, where you're not going to worry about anybody else's thought process. You're going to have your own strategy and model, back tested, proven. You're going to feel as good as you possibly can about it, and you're not going to worry about that outside noise. So let's get into it here. Let me share screen over here. I got to pull up this. Okay, sharing. Where are we? Oh, whoops. Let me get this. we'll start off with Tesla here, or that chart at least, and then we'll pull it over. So that is shared. Good. Sorry, I'm moving a little slow motion today. All right, let's do this. We will pull this off. We'll do this right here. Where are we? All right. All right, so everybody should see the screen by now. And I have Tesla up, but we can switch that. We'll start off with NASDAQ and SPY. So monthly, of course, still very bullish on NASDAQ. You had your volume imbalance higher to start this month. The close of this month is, to me, going to be even more important. Over the last couple of days, I had been expecting a little bit of a retracement, and we have not gotten it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's out of the equation. When we get down to smaller time frames, I'll kind of show you the process that I'm going through there. Which would be really encouraging for bulls would be to create that monthly fair value gap right here. See that? So from wick, body, wick, I'll zoom in there so you guys can see it clearly right there. That would be extremely encouraging if this month were to paint upward the way that it is. Now, again, we have a lot of time left. There's still 28 days. So there's a possibility that we prevent that from happening. But if we were to get that expansion and create another imbalance here, that would be pretty scary for the bears. But let's move down into a weekly time frame very similarly. Okay, this, I'm testing something here. So this should mean nothing to anybody at the moment. Okay, so far painting a bullish order block on the weekly. Still, we're only halfway there, so let's see what happens. Potentially a Wednesday reversal. That is a possibility. Like I said, today with the shortened day, you're going to notice, especially if you're looking at the indices, that price action's likely to be much more choppy and stagnant and slow. And those obviously are not ideal trading positions. So I will be just ultimately just managing some spots. I'll probably be done by 11 today. So now moving on to the daily, obviously you could see that so far not good. My idea for how I was mapping out the future price action, this is what I had the other day. Look, did we take out this high? We did. Okay, I'm curious to see if ES did, see if we get a little bit of a SMT divergence. The only thing is that we are still relatively extended. And what do I mean by extended? We're still in premium by quite a bit. We have not seen discount in a long time here. And that's ultimately what I'm looking for. But to make our way up and through this bearish fair value gap, if this doesn't reclaim immediately, that's no good for bears either. So that would honestly make me believe that there is a likelihood for another high at that point. And obviously my idea would be wrong. Now down to the hourly, very similarly. Here, let me just remove some of these. Good. Okay. So we obviously took out that high here, and that continuation is right above that bearish imbalance. I'm sorry. So we do have a large hourly bullish fair value gap right here. There it is. Have not gotten into it just yet. By us taking out this high, we did shift on a smaller time frame. And that's what we're kind of looking at. Discount is a ways away. So even if we were to get into this imbalance right here, doesn't necessarily mean that we can't go up. We probably will, but this doesn't meet the criteria for me to have the highest probability for a trade, right? Think about it. Where does this trade idea, this range, go wrong? Well, it'll be all the way down here. That's a huge downside risk that I'm not really willing to take. Now, if I were to add off of this imbalance, what is my upside potential, right? It's here. It's not all that far away. And that's why with the Mando model, I'm looking for those discounts in order to catch those big moves like Tesla, like Mara, right? List goes on. But that is, and we're getting into that bearish fair value gap for the first time as well. So, but we do have this fair value gap down here. Honestly, at this point, I think my idea is going to be wrong. And I do think we're going to end up making a new high. Doesn't mean it's going to have to be today. Like I said, we have FOMC minutes after hours. We have non-farm payroll on Friday, two highly volatile events that I'm not front running. So we'll play it as it comes, and we'll see where we go from there. Really, the big, I guess, wrench in the overarching bullish thesis would be, and it's really not all that big, I guess, but that bullish fair value gap here on the weekly was not touched. And you might say, does it have to? No, it doesn't necessarily have to. But to me, this feels really comfortable for another high probability long situation, right? And the fact that we haven't gotten down here doesn't mean that we can't go up, of course, like I said before. But I will say my level of confidence is much lower in that long from this point, knowing that we have this right below us kind of hanging out. So we will see how that goes. There's a lot of relative equal lows down there as well. But in the meantime, a little bit of a play it by ear on the indices, and I've been kind of monitoring individual names much more. So let's come on over here and let's see. My issue is taking profits early. Okay, so the idea of liquidity would be really helpful too, I think. How do you set up a chart to look like that? Chart settings? Oh, like my canvas and stuff? Yeah, I can show you how to do that. I mean, this is pretty generic, and obviously you don't have to have it one way or the other, but you can just come on over here and go to settings, canvas, and then I just do white. I have a purple cross here. I don't even know if you guys can see that. And then the text bar I put black, so it's darker. And then the symbol, the candles, green, black, 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 black. But yeah, that's all. But to go back to your original statement about, I have trouble taking profits too early. Look, I know we beat ourselves up over it. Taking profits is a good thing. Having an idea of where that trade completes its mission, where your trade idea goes from 0 to 100 perfection, that really plays into the overall idea of liquidity. And that's a very, very important concept. I think that might be the most important concept for anybody to learn, because when you learn liquidity, you essentially automatically eliminate all of the noise, also known as garbage, that you would see around, right? Everybody who's pounding the table for volume and all these indicators and such, you realize that it's so irrelevant because we know where the volume is. If you were to watch that tweet that I put out yesterday, literally the last sentence that I say is a little bit of a challenge for everyone to go and look at your chart. And when a higher time frame higher low is swept, meaning price goes either below a higher time frame low or above a higher time frame high, you're going to notice what happens with those volume bars. The necessary liquidity on these mega caps, big cap, large caps, mid caps, other than a penny stock, the necessary liquidity to move price and that volume that we speak of is already there, right? So that's why I think volume's lagging. You don't need it. And when you start to see how price or even the volume bars reacts following a swing high or low being taken out, you're going to notice, oh, wow, we took out a low and now there's big volume bars. I wonder why, right? And again, this is something that you can all back test. So let's see. My fib always come out like Tesla yesterday. With Tesla was kind of hard to know where we would stop. Yeah. Look, so that in that expansive move, and hold on, let me just throw on this thing and then we'll get into Tesla. Where are we? Here we go. Let's get into individual. Okay, so let's scoot on over here and we'll go to Tesla first. So here's where we currently sit on Tesla, monthly order block. And as you see, I have this labeled as showtime, right? Of course, there's still 28 days, so we still can close inside here. But this is the imbalance that this is really my last worry for bulls. Over this confirmed, right? Creating an imbalance would be even better, but to create an imbalance up through, at that point, I have I firmly 100% believe, and I'm pretty close. I'm at about 99, but with speed to 414.50, right? If we were to mitigate this bearish monthly fair value gap here, we have nothing else above. Every other imbalance, and I'll map them all out so you guys can see, that's a bearish imbalance. That's filled, okay? Here's a bearish imbalance, filled, okay? Where else? Here's a bearish volume imbalance, filled, right? Here's another. Oh, not that. What the hell is that? Here's another, filled. Here's another, filled, right? You see how all of these have been filled already? That's Dangerous for the bearish thesis, I'll tell you that. Now, this was the reason why I labeled that showtime, and there's really no relevance to this specific area. It is just a fair value gap. The only difference here is that when price gets up into this imbalance, I can see it going essentially both ways, right? And that's why I tend to, if I'm long in this situation, which I am, I would proceed with caution, knowing that a monthly imbalance, the first time through, we have to be seriously powerful to get up and through. Now, on the flip side of that, I could have very well seen something like this. I'm not saying this happens. I would prefer it not to, honestly, but here, this and that, right? That's the only question that I have. Now, if you're trading with options and you're dealing with time, that throws a wrench into the idea, right? So that's why it's important to have an idea of these numbers. But if we were to take charge and blow through this is on a higher time frame, right? Buy side or swing high in this is 299.29, right? It's still really far away. So the range on Tesla is massive. Now you can continue moving through, and you can note that here's your weekly time frame, deep discount, turtle soup, starting to run for highs, right? Held on to this bullish imbalance, took out this imbalance. See, 1 wick, 2 wick, 3 wicks. So for 3 weeks, or 4 weeks, I'm sorry, we ran into that imbalance and couldn't get up on through. Finally create that imbalance to make our way up. Here it is. Boom, boom. Let me change the color so you guys see. And we're up another $5 in pre-market on Tesla. Here's another closure, right? There's buy side. That was that initial 205 target that I was talking about. That lined up with this monthly imbalance, 205.60. Now, this volume imbalance shredded, no problem. Boom. And then into another fair value gap here. Now, we're currently at 236. So where are we? We're sitting right inside this volume imbalance as well. Now, if we're chasing liquidity, and we're chasing liquidity fast, 265, 268, that's a low resistance liquidity run up there. And then you got one more up there at 278. So, I'm just using liquidity essentially as areas for profit. Now, if you're fighting time, right, you have a short dated contract that you're dealing with, what I would do instead is just go to a smaller time frame and look for hourly swing highs or 4-hour swing highs or daily swing highs, and use those as my potential areas to take profit, right? And if you're saying, oh, I want to let it run a little bit, I'm not sure if this is the area in which price is actually going to retrace, you can always just do this and wait for some sort of imbalance to form following your sweep of liquidity. For example, we took out that 191 high right here with what? An imbalance up through. That would, offer you some insight that there will be continuation to this move, right? Now, how about this? Where's our next high that was taken out? We took out this high right here. In that price run, were there any imbalances that would have justified us for a continuation type move? Right there. See? That's an imbalance. Here, I'll zoom in even closer so you guys can see. Okay. And that's why if you ever notice when I do those futures trading videos, like when I'm actively managing the position, you'll notice that I get stopped out more often on those than it just hits my take profit. And the reason for that is because I throw that take profit way higher, right? As long as I'm in the money, or I'm well in profit, and I can drag that take profit up, or which essentially would be a stop loss. If I can drag that stop loss well into profit, then I'll let it play. I would like to see an imbalance up through. For example, here's another high. Here's an imbalance up through. Okay, you'll get pretty taking another high, imbalance up through. So you will get a very immediate response to those areas of buy side. You're either going to get that breakout trade, or you're going to reach up with a wick, take it, and then retrace right back, right? And those are the times where we would then begin to start looking for those discount retracements, and that's all it is. But that's a way that how I kind of manage my profit taking situation, if you will. So that would be Tesla. I know we've been banging the table on that since last Wednesday, and for me even longer, but it turned out to be a really good one to get us going into these summer months. So that would be Tesla. Now, another name that I looked at, shout out to KD here. He put this on my radar, but Moderna. Okay, so here's Moderna, and we'll take a look. We'll zoom in just a tad. This is a monthly time frame, of course, just to be aware. Now, oh shoot, where's my here it is. Okay, we shifted structure like this. Okay, So by taking out these lows right here with that price run, we've taken, we could technically kind of justify this as a bearish price range, right? But if we buy into the idea that price likes to go to discount of these price ranges, right, then at this point we can look for a potential move back up into that area, right? So while long term pretty bearish on this, on a shorter time duration, I do, like longs, right? So here would be another situation where that would be bearish volume imbalance right there. Gap down showing you urgency to move lower. Okay. This right here is a bearish fair value gap. Okay, and we got up into and rejected. Now, this right here is a bullish fair value gap, and you see how perfect these levels respect. It's, there's no BS here. It's very, very precise. So, but anyways, there's your little run, and here's your monthly imbalance that we got into. And I'll show you on smaller time frames how or why that was enticing other than just the monthly. So if we look over here at the weekly time frame, you'll notice you have a low, high, lower low, break up and through. Here's your retracement back down into your weekly bullish breaker right here. Okay, there's also a bullish fair value gap. We are also in discount of a bullish range. And third, you have a mitigation block. So that would be a little different than a breaker, but you'd have your low, high, higher low. That would be your little mitigation block, previous buy side liquidity, right? Because my model is already completed here. And this is something we'll get into Friday. We'll just do a whole Mando model thing. But there it is. Low, high, discount retracement, bullish imbalance, run for highs, Mando model complete. That's it. That's all. Any time frame, any ticker, don't matter. So ideally, that's I'm looking for a response to get going in the upward direction on Moderna here. Here's down to the daily. Okay, very similarly, we turtle souped this low, swept liquidity, volume imbalance to start. There we go. And this is that overnight action. All encouraging. We rejected this bearish imbalance on the first attempt, which is fine. So we've gotten up into it. So ideally, we can target that high right there. And we have some protected lows down here at 114.10, and that would be honestly where I would say, okay, this trade's going bad, right? But a lot of upside here with relatively low risk in terms of the numerical value on how low we can potentially go here. Right? So and also, I guess the last idea. So here is Moderna, right? This range isn't necessarily set, okay? So right, this is right at 50%. Whoops. Okay, but we took out buy side here. That would create a low, high, lower low, break up and through. So the entirety of this candle can be viewed as a bullish breaker or support moving forward. And that's ideally what you would see here, right? So 116, right? That would get you into discount on this most recent run. And ultimately, that next buy side target is at 123.70, right? And I honestly, it's mapped out pretty well. 114.03. I got no more interest in it, right? So that would be Moderna. That's just one that I'm looking at, and like I said, Katie had brought it up, and keeping an eye on it. So, yeah. So let's get going. Yeah. We'll do Palantir when I'm ready, because Palantir is not the best setup, but here's Palantir. Okay, here's your monthly. Got into the monthly imbalance, running for highs. My model completes at 27.50. Okay, overarching bearish trend, so things can get a little sticky up here, but 27.50 is the mark on this most recent price run, and we are in a bearish order block right at 50% of the range, right? So the whole range mapping, you see the reaction off 50% or fair value or equilibrium of that range, right? Clearly showing you that there's something to it, right? So that's the monthly. Here's your weekly, very similarly. Bullish volume imbalance to start this week, right? There it is, 27.50, like I said before. The only reason why I haven't been playing Palantir is because why did it leave these lows? Equal lows here, relative equal lows on this entire run up everywhere, right? That's nasty. That's huge pools of liquidity just chilling out down there. Don't love that. And that's why I really haven't been actively following or trading this, right? You're gonna say, well, it's perfectly playing out to your model. Well, yes, you're correct, but still just don't love it because of these equal lows, right? There's a lot of liquidity down here, and if it's running out of juice, where is it likely going to go? It's going to go get liquidity. So, yeah, not really interested in Palantir, even though it's going to complete my model. So, yeah, also, if you haven't already, please like this on X. Please retweet it or share it on X. Also, drop comments in the comment box. I appreciate that. I got time for a few more. Selling winners early is better than holding losers longer, but you should have your exit already mapped out regardless. Yeah, the exit can literally be mapped out before you even press the button, and so can your profit target, right? And that's honestly how I think it should be, but I think people just really, want to push buttons and stuff. All right, let's look. Okay, I get it. Helps very much. Gave clearance. Yeah. All right, so let's do W Day, Chewy, and UPS, and then I gotta run. So W Day. Let's see. Start at the higher time frame. Make sure it all checks out. Relative equal lows here. Don't love it. Yeah, don't love this for a long. So, and we swept liquidity there also. Do we have any imbalances here? Yeah, I'm not really loving that. Let's see, just one more look, and yeah, no, not for me. Definitely not for me. If it sweeps these lows, maybe, but this is a bearish fair value gap also. Yeah, not interested here. Let's see, what's the next one? Chewy, sure. Yeah, I think Chewy is going to keep going lower. We said this when everything went ballistic. Go back to Mando's morning brew from the day of and the day after, and this was completely called, I guess. But we are in discount now. So there's your monthly run, low to your high. Here's your little discount into your monthly bullish breaker. All good, all great so far. Looks like we could create a monthly bullish fair value gap, and you also have another one deeper down there. Here it is. Very similarly, look how we just filled up every one of these imbalances. That's all we did, right? On that little run higher. Now here is your current run, and you do have another breaker, okay, that we're in on the weekly time frame, so that ain't bad either. Here it is, right? Look how precise that is. Come on, guys, come on, can't be serious. But yeah, there's Chewy. Yeah, I'm just not really liking or loving Chewy. There's another breaker down here that I would personally prefer more. But even this is structured, right? You have entry, exit, take profit, right? Everything is mapped out well in advance. You don't have to lotto it. So even when you're wrong, if you know where you're going to be wrong, that can save you a lot of money from not YOLOing stuff. Okay, UPS, sure. And then I'll try and run through these quick, but UPS discounted, great. Yep, getting deeper into discount, most ideal would be, for me at least, at that bullish breaker, right? And that's on the monthly time frame. So would like it a little lower and then get into that monthly breaker. Okay, we did Palantir. Let's see, ARM, sure. ARM's not going to offer me much. We just completed my model. So for anybody who's listening for the first time here, here's your Mando model on the monthly. You can do it on any time frame. It doesn't matter, but there is your, whoops. And where's this bottom? Hold on. There it is. Low, high, discount retracement, bullish imbalance, run for highs, Mando model complete. Looks like we could form a bullish monthly fair value gap right there. Let's come on over to the daily and see. Daily, we got into this daily fair value gap. So far, so good. We don't have any imbalances here. This is not really something that I would personally trade. So just a little too choppy for me. So yeah, like the stream, please. Appreciate it. I'll run through these whenever. Yeah, thank you, Sojourn. All right, let's do MU, and then we're getting out of here. If anybody wants to join, we do live trading over in the group. The link is in my bio over here. So here's Micron on the monthly. Did we get into that? We did. We got into this volume imbalance on the monthly. Okay, let's check on over on the weekly. Really a lot of extension on this weekly range. Personally, this discount and specifically that would be, that's if we're to get the retracement, but that is really, that would be a nice long turtle soup into a discount bullish imbalance. That's pretty good. We're catching on to this order block to start. If you're bullish and you're still bullish on this, ideally you close the week at least tapping that 135.70. That prevents a weekly imbalance from forming. If that weekly imbalance forms, then I fully anticipate a retracement back down into discount of the overarching bullish range. So thank you, Cajun, for the reminder there. So that's all I got for now. I hope everybody, and again, 1 o'clock, market's closed, so just be aware. But market's about to open here. Good luck to everybody. Everybody have a nice 4th of July. I won't be on tomorrow morning, but I will be back on Friday. So I hope to see everybody then. Take care, and we'll talk soon.